Hello everyone, and welcome back to my personal finance channel, Your Friendly Budgetarian. So I know a couple of people just subscribed to my channel, and thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me when you guys like it, you comment on it and all that stuff. So I guess just a little bit of background. It has been a while since I introduced how I got with my financial journey. So I created this channel to be held accountable, as most of you guys know, with regards to my finances. And mostly when I was trying to find ways on how to pay off my loans, I really got into personal finance that I got so committed to it that I'm like, well, I might as well create these Excel spreadsheets, create a channel and all that stuff. So I just really got into it. But yeah, and here I am now, just sharing my finances with strangers, but might as well, help them out, right? So yeah, and again, my name is Isabel and welcome to my channel. So I hope that you, with regards to the channels that I create, I hope you find it really helpful. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment them down below. So in today's video, I decided to create basically a summary of my debt payoff, and I just finished year 2. So now I'm in my 3rd year of basically continually paying off my loans. But first things first, since I technically did not had any, I did have my debt confession video, which I created actually about almost a year ago now, or a year ago actually. So please feel free to check it out. I will link it in the description box. But I guess just a more comprehensive story of how I got into my student loan. So, I am a pharmacist. That is what my profession is, and I'm not gonna go into, I guess, specific details just for privacy wise, but I went to school back in 2015, and it's the 3-year pharmacy program. And that's why when I graduated back in 2018, obviously that's when the loan started kicking in. It already kicked in when I signed into it on my 1st year, right? So the school that I went to, it was more of a private institution, and since it's just a 3-year course, so it's a little bit more expensive than the usual 6-year state college programs or something like that. The 1st year, I believe I maxed it out. Again, stupid decision, right? I was still living with my parents anyway, but I maxed it out in the sense that I want to know how much, I'm actually going to be spending. But the smart thing that I did after that is that whatever amount I did not use, I, paid it back right away. So that's that. And also there was this, the short-term loan that my brother took out some of that money, but he paid me back right away. So obviously no issue in that, right? And then the 2nd year, I think I just got the minimum, whatever pays for my school. And then I think plus 10 or 15,000 or something like that. Also, sorry, if you guys haven't watched my debt confession story, I would say watch that first. Because yeah, as some of you guys know, so I bought my car back in 2013 and I paid it off in 2014, so only a year. And then I went to school, pharmacy school, in 2015, right? So all this time I don't have any other car. My only car payment was my car insurance, and I'm still living under my parents, so they basically pay for my food, shelter, and everything. but I do pay for like gas, personal expenses, and all that stuff because I was still working part-time at a retail pharmacy as an intern. So that's that. And then my third year, I believe I technically did the same thing, like just the minimum, but like plus or minus 10K. But yeah, and if I am not mistaken, I think I have like 10K savings as well, which again is actually not that bad at all. Trip wise, we've had some like conference here and there, but it's not something like an actual vacation. Like I didn't go to the beach or something like that. There was probably that one time that my friends and I decided to go to Seattle, but overall I don't think I have spent no more than $500 or $700 for that three-day trip. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. I mean, I am not a big spender even during like pharmacy school, and again, I did not have to pay for any loans because my car was paid off. But pretty much it's really all student loans. So yeah, but the thing is, my mentality back during pharmacy school is that I don't want to look at my loans. I don't want to know how much I owe. And basically, it's just going to be a forever loan, right? I mean, in the back of my head, I do have the thinking of I want to pay off my loans as fast as I can. But that didn't really come to my senses not until like I graduated. And the dogs are hurting, so let me just pause the video for a bit. So all in all, I probably have looked at my student loans for like the whole pharmacy school year or years. I would say probably less than 10 times. Imagine that. But it's so funny now that I think about it, because I probably look at my student loans like, I don't know, 5 times a week or something. But yeah, it really makes a big difference when you're in a different mindset. But anyways, so 2018 is when I graduated. Now I moved here in it's not really a new state, but a new city. I've lived with my fiance. So then we shared our bills and all that stuff. But I wasn't really thinking much of, budgeting. So sometimes I would wonder like where my money went. I know I was doing like, if zero, probably like really minimum payments, because there's still that grace period, like 6 months after you graduate, right? And then after that, you will evaluate how you're gonna be paying. Is it income-based repayment? And there's also pay as you earn and all that stuff, which again, I might probably talk in a different video, but for now, whatever the financial counselor in our college advises to do is the IBR, which is the income-based repayment. So that's what I did. And when I applied for it and I got accepted, and then I think my minimum payment was $0. So basically it's kind of like the grace period just extended, right? But of course, I mean, again, I'm not in my financial mindset at that time, so I don't even like know how much interest it accrues every time that I don't pay something every month. So yeah, that was the whole deal with regards to the time I graduated 2018 up until we're gonna be reapplying for repayment, right? So that was what? I think it was probably October of 2019, wherein we're due for, we're gonna apply again for IBR or for repay, which is REPAYE, and all that stuff. So again, I applied for income-based repayment, but now this time I think the minimum, if I'm not mistaken, is about $600 or $700. Again, that is definitely not enough to even cover for whatever interest that accrued. And that actually got me into thinking, how am I gonna pay off my loans? So then, so this is what happened, okay? As I was researching about it, of course, guess who I found? Dave Ramsey. So I saw the videos, I got hooked into the podcasts and everything, and then I found out about the baby steps. So that's what led to me being into the personal finance world. But yeah, that was back in December of 2019. And it is actually kind of funny because I was talking to my friend about it. I was like, hey, how much have you paid with your loans? And then we're like comparing and stuff. And then I was like, so I actually had about, let's see, almost maybe 40,000 in my savings account or something like that. And I'm like, or no, probably, no, around 50,000 or so that I'm not even touching and not even growing a freaking interest, right? So I decided, since I felt so bad because I haven't been paying my loans that well, I decided to close off one loan, which was one student loan alone was $34,000. Can you imagine that? $34,000. So I was like, oh damn, that's a big, that's a lot of money. But I paid it off in December of 2019. It's after all those videos of watching Dave Ramsey and listening to the show, listening to the podcast, that's what made me be like, I'm gonna pay this off. So that's what really kicked or sped up the process of me paying off my loans. So that's why I always say my year one of debt payoff started in December of 2019 and then up until December of 2020. So now we're gonna discuss of how much I have paid off. For year one, so my starting balance is $195,033.36. The principal that I paid off was $72,154.21. Again, that's a lot of money. I honestly don't know how I was able to pull it off, but all I know is that, with when the pandemic happened back in March of 2020, everyone was getting sick and stuff, and then there were opportunities, of course. Since we're in the healthcare field, there are opportunities to do overtime. That's what I just did, since there's nowhere to go anyway. And the fact that, well, at first, because that December 2019 to December 2020, obviously before the COVID, my fiance and I were planning to do our wedding, and since everything got canceled, the money that I was saving up for the wedding went to my loans. So that's what happened. So that's the principal paid, and for the interest paid, I paid off $11,877.83. So that's a lot of money. But yeah, I can't believe that I did that. But that's what, when you were, again, using Dave Ramsey's words, when you're gazelle intense and you're hyper focused with whatever goals you have, you can make it happen, right? So for my second year, which is just when I started my channel, my starting balance was $114,000. Keep in mind, I started with $195,000. So now basically my goal is to make it less than $100,000, right? So just the first month alone, January of 2021, I paid off $20,000 because I was like, I want the start of the year 2021 for it to be less than 100,000 and then just snowball from there. So yeah, that was an interesting month, and even I myself cannot believe that I was able to pull off that amount from my savings. I guess again, I think I wasn't pressing my savings account because I was scared that, oh, what if like we continue our wedding and stuff. So we didn't, but it's okay, it's all good. So that's why I was able to pay off that $20,000 for that first month alone. So there's no interest paid. Luckily, I paid all of my interest back in my first year of debt payoff. So 0 interest paid. So now the principal paid is $71,500. As you guys have known in my, if you've watched my previous videos, so that is the principal that I paid for my second year of debt payoff. So how much loans is left for me to pay for my third year, hopefully last, debt payoff? So starting balance is now at $42,500. So yeah, I'm really just counting down the days, the months that wherein I can scream on top of my lungs on a cliff somewhere where I live here to say that I'm freaking debt free. So I mean, it's so close, but I think still a little bit far. But you know, recently I've actually just yesterday, I don't know where I'm gonna produce this video, but I had almost 4 hours of overtime just for this week alone. So yeah, I mean, right now I think I'm still in gazelle intense mode, but from time to time I definitely do think about my, you know, my mental health, my mental sanity. So I try not to burn out as much compared as last year. I think probably last year was the worst with regards to burnout. It's not even 2020 that was the worst. It was, I think, 2021 because as you guys have known, I applied for a side job or a side hustle, and yeah, that kind of effed up my schedule. But I'm back on track now, and yeah, everything is good, everything is great, and I just can't wait until I pay off this loan. I know there's only, they have extended the forbearance up until May 1st. So I was thinking more of a different strategy this time though, since I just joined M1 Finance and I did their checkings account. So for 1 year, they have an interest rate of 1%. So I was thinking to create like a student loan savings. I know some of the like financial YouTubers out here, that's what they're doing with regards to their student loans. So I was thinking of the same strategy, but we'll see about that. I will definitely update you guys if I continue with that strategy or not. But with that said, I'm just really grateful and happy that I'm so close to my debt payoff plan, and I hope that I'm able to, you know, help you guys out, you know, motivate you guys as well, you know, share my journey with you guys, and hopefully, you know, we are able to motivate each other with this. So with that said, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you guys create good financial decisions in your life. And again, thank you so much for the support, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!